My name is Emma Wilson. 3 years ago, my husband told me he was leaving me. Not because he stopped loving me. At least, that was the lie he told me. His name was Ryan. We had been married for 6 years. When we first met, Ryan had almost nothing. He drove an old car. He lived in a tiny apartment. And he had dreams of becoming successful. I believed in those dreams. I supported him. While he studied for his business degree, I worked overtime. When he started his first company, I used my savings to help him. When the company nearly collapsed, I sold my jewelry. When he needed $40,000 to keep the business alive, I gave him every dollar I had. I never asked for anything in return, because I thought marriage meant being a team. I was wrong. One Friday evening, Ryan came home unusually quiet. He put his briefcase down. "We need to talk." My heart immediately sank. "What's wrong?" He didn't sit beside me. He stood across the room. "I've met someone." I stared at him. "What?" "Her name is Claire Harrison." I knew the name. Everyone in the business world knew it. Claire was the daughter of a billionaire. Her family owned one of the largest hotel groups in America. I laughed nervously. "You've got to be joking." "I'm not." "Ryan." "I'm leaving." I couldn't breathe. "You've been seeing her?" He looked away. "Yes." "How long?" 8 months. 8 months. I had been cooking for him, supporting him, believing in him, while he was secretly dating another woman. Then he said, "Claire can give me the future you never could." I stared at him. "What future?" "Money." I felt tears in my eyes. "You promised me money didn't matter." He shrugged. "People change." The next sentence destroyed me. "You were useful when I needed you." I froze. "What?" "You helped me get started." He looked at me. "But now, I don't need you anymore." I removed my wedding ring, placed it on the table, and whispered, "Then go." He took the ring. I expected him to cry. He didn't. He walked out. 3 months later, I received divorce papers. Ryan wanted everything. The apartment, the car, his company, even the furniture I had purchased. My lawyer told me, "Don't worry. You have evidence of your financial contributions." Ryan laughed when he heard, "She'll get nothing." Because Claire's family had hired the most expensive lawyers in New York. But Ryan didn't know one thing. When I helped him build his company, I didn't just give him money. I studied his business. I learned his customers. I learned his suppliers. I learned his contracts. I learned everything. And during those 6 years, I discovered something Ryan never noticed. I was actually better at business than he was. After the divorce, I disappeared. I moved to another city. I took a tiny office. I started a company. Just me. 1 laptop. 1 employee. And $17,000. My company focused on corporate logistics. At first, nobody cared. Then 1 client signed. Then another. Then another. Within 18 months, we had contracts worth millions. 2 years later, we had offices in 5 states. And 3 years after Ryan left me, my company was worth more than $80 million. I never contacted Ryan. I never told him. I never wanted revenge. I simply built my life. Then one Monday morning, my assistant walked into my office. "Emma, the Harrison Group wants to meet you." I looked up. "The Harrison Group?" "Yes." "Why?" "They're looking for a company to manage their nationwide logistics contracts." I smiled. "How much?" She placed the proposal on my desk. $240 million. I stared at the number. "Who is attending the meeting?" "Their CEO." "Who?" She answered. "Ryan Wilson." My heart stopped. My ex-husband was coming to my office. He had no idea. I owned the company he desperately needed. The meeting was scheduled for Thursday. I could have refused. I almost did. Then I changed my mind. Not because I wanted revenge. Because I wanted to see whether Ryan had changed. Thursday morning, I walked into the conference room. Ryan was already there. He was wearing an expensive suit, a luxury watch, a wedding ring. Claire sat beside him. I hadn't seen them together since my divorce. Ryan looked successful, confident. Until he saw me. His face went completely blank. Emma. I smiled. Hello, Ryan. He stood. You. Claire looked between us. You know her. Ryan couldn't answer. I sat down. Let's discuss the contract. Ryan stared at me. You own this company? Yes. He laughed nervously. No. I looked at him. Yes. Claire's expression changed. You never told me your ex-wife was a CEO. Ryan swallowed. She wasn't. I smiled. People change. The meeting began. Ryan tried to act professional, but he couldn't stop looking at me. I presented our logistics network, our technology, our clients, our growth. At the end, I closed the presentation. Any questions? Ryan said nothing. Claire asked, what would your final contract price be? I gave her the number. Ryan's eyes widened. That's too high. I smiled. Then don't sign it. Silence. Claire looked at Ryan. Can we afford not to? Ryan looked uncomfortable. No. I stood. Then I'll see you next week. Ryan followed me into the hallway. Emma. I stopped. What? I didn't know. That's obvious. You've become. He couldn't finish. Successful. He nodded. I smiled. You were right. About what? You said I couldn't give you the future you wanted. I looked him directly in the eyes. I just needed to build it without you. Ryan began contacting me constantly. Emails. Phone calls. Messages. He wanted another chance. He said he regretted everything. But I didn't trust him. Then one evening, Claire called me. Emma, we need to talk. About Ryan. Yes. I agreed. We met at a quiet restaurant. Claire looked exhausted. I didn't know what he did to you. I said nothing. He told me you were holding him back. I laughed. Of course he did. Claire looked down. He also told me you were financially irresponsible. I stared at her. Did you believe him? At first. Do you now? She shook her head. No. Then she said something unexpected. Ryan is bankrupting my family's company. I froze. What? He's been making terrible investments. How much? Nearly $60 million. I couldn't believe it. He blamed you. Me? Yes. Claire handed me documents. Ryan had been hiding losses. He had used Harrison Group funds to cover them. And now, the company was in danger. I looked at the documents. Why are you showing me this? Claire whispered. Because I think he married me for the same reason he left you. Money. I hired forensic accountants. Within 2 weeks, we discovered millions had been moved into secret accounts. Some belonged to Ryan. Others belonged to shell companies. But the biggest transfer was made 3 years earlier. The day after our divorce. $8.4 million. I recognized the destination. It was an account connected to Ryan's old company. The same company I had helped build. I confronted him. You stole from me. He shook his head. No. The money disappeared after our divorce. I don't know what you're talking about. I showed him the documents. He became pale. Where did you get those? Your accounting records. He sat down. Then whispered. I was trying to protect us. Us. You were going to leave me. I was your wife. I panicked. You stole $8 million. He said nothing. Then he admitted something worse. The money wasn't the only secret. Ryan had secretly taken out loans using my name. My signature had been forged. If the company collapsed, the debt would come back to me. I looked at him. Why? He started crying. Because I thought I'd become rich. And I thought Claire's family would save me. I shook my head. You destroyed everything for money. He whispered. I'm sorry. I answered. You're sorry because you lost. I took the evidence to federal investigators. The investigation moved quickly. Ryan was questioned. Claire provided additional evidence. The Harrison family removed him from the company. His luxury apartment was sold. His accounts were frozen. The man who once told me he didn't need me now had nowhere to go. But I wasn't finished. I discovered one final document. A contract Ryan had signed before leaving me. It contained a clause stating that if his company ever entered a major partnership, I was entitled to 20% of the intellectual property rights. I had forgotten about it. Ryan had forgotten too. That clause was worth millions. The company I had helped create still owed me. I took him to court and won. 6 months later, the Harrison Group called an emergency board meeting. The company was struggling. Its stock had fallen. Investors were leaving. Banks were demanding repayment. Then the chairman announced, "We have one solution." Everyone looked at him. "We need Emma Wilson." Ryan was in the room. He looked at me. "You?" I smiled. "Yes." The chairman continued. "Emma's company has offered to acquire the logistics division." I placed the proposal on the table. Ryan stared at it. "You want to buy us?" "No." I paused. "I want to save the part of the company you nearly destroyed." The board voted. The acquisition passed. After the meeting, Ryan followed me. "You've won." I stopped. "No. You destroyed me." "No. You took everything." I turned around. "Ryan, you did that yourself." He looked broken. "I loved you." I stared at him. "No. You loved what you thought I could give you." He lowered his head. "And now? Now I don't need anything from you." Claire eventually divorced him too. She discovered he had lied to her about almost everything. She rebuilt her family's company. And she personally thanked me. "You could have destroyed us." I smiled. I wasn't interested in destroying innocent people. What about Ryan? He destroyed himself. 2 years later, my company became worth $310 million. I expanded internationally. I bought my first house. Not a mansion. A beautiful home with a garden. The kind of home I had once dreamed of having with Ryan. But this time, I bought it myself. One morning, I received an invitation. It was from a business magazine. They wanted to feature me on their cover. The headline read, "From divorced and broke to $310 million CEO." I stared at it, then smiled. 3 years earlier, Ryan had told me, "You can't give me the future I want." Now, my future was bigger than anything he had imagined. A month later, I attended a charity event. I was walking toward the entrance when someone called my name. "Emma." I turned. Ryan. He looked completely different. No expensive suit. No luxury watch. No confidence. Just a quiet man standing there. "How are you?" "I'm good." He nodded. "I heard about the company." "Congratulations." "Thank you." He looked at me. "I made the biggest mistake of my life." I smiled politely. "You did." He looked surprised by my honesty. "I wish I could change it." "You can't." "I know." He took a breath. "Do you hate me?" I thought about it. "No." He looked relieved. "Why not?" I answered. "Because hating you would mean you still have power over me." He looked down. I walked away. That night, I stood on my balcony. The city lights stretched across the horizon. I remembered the woman I had been 3 years earlier. Broken. Betrayed. Afraid. She thought her life was over. She had no idea. Her worst day was about to become her turning point. I learned something important. People can leave you. They can underestimate you. They can betray you. They can tell you that you're not enough. But none of that decides your future. You do. Ryan left me because he thought I was nobody. Then he walked into my company and discovered I had become the person he could never control. I didn't need to destroy him. I didn't need to humiliate him. I didn't need to prove anything. My success was the revenge. And my peace was the victory.